Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, you find a way to lose. Also in boxing in particular, right now in these weight divisions where you have unified champions, everybody wants the 4-for-1 special. Nobody wants to really earn their way to undisputed. If Devin Haney did it, then we can do it. Let me tell y'all something, man. Sometimes the stars just line up. Okay? It is what it is. But when you look at Jeron Boots in this situation, let's understand something. He's in a pretty good position to where maybe he gets a shot, right? Follow me on this, right? To where maybe he gets a shot at the winner of Spence and Crawford after their what could be trilogy. But people are so concerned about Crawford and Spence having the first fight. Maybe Spence doesn't want to go to a second fight because it's so hard to make 147. If he loses, he's like, F it, I'm out of here, 154. If he wins, he may be like, F it, I already won, I'm out of here to 154. Now, if Crawford wins, right? Hey, maybe Crawford decides, you know what? I'm going to hang around here. But understand this now. When Jeron Boots Ennis and Crawford having all those belts in the WBO, IBF, WBC, and WBA. Let me tell y'all something. The way these boxing politics work. Right now, Boots Ennis is a mandatory to Spence. I can see Crawford winning the fight. Spence deciding, you know what, I don't want a rematch. Whatever, it is what it is, I lost. And then all of a sudden, you see somehow the winner of Standing Ennis or Ortiz getting in there. You can see Rocha getting a shot. I can see people everyone getting a shot but Jeron Boots Ennis, because we know the secret society does what they want to. Now, let's forget all of that, okay? That's one scenario. The other scenario is maybe he does get his shot at the winner of Crawford and Spence. If Crawford wins or Spence wins and Crawford decides he doesn't want a rematch, maybe then, Boots Ennis gets his opportunity. But I don't think it's going to happen like that. This is what I think could happen, because I know Spence is prideful, Crawford is prideful. What I think happens is, if Crawford wins one, they'll have a sequel. Let's say Spence wins, or whoever, right? Just switch the names, because I know some of y'all are real particular. Y'all be trying to find out my address and come out here, man, and start round 2 of your killing spree with Claude and Ray, because I didn't say Spence would beat Crawford first, you know what I'm saying, or Crawford beat Spence first. I'm just talking. Don't start round 2 of your killing spree on me. Leave Claude and Ray out there in the joint eating them pies, you know what I mean? But I think they'll fight 3 times maybe. Twice for sure. But understand this about Jeron Boots Ennis. People keep talking about Earl Spence having a tough time making the weight. Hey, Jeron Boots Ennis has a tendency to overtrain. Jeron Boots Ennis is bigger than Earl Spence. So when you talk about someone killing himself to get down to 147, and just like you talk about Earl Spence, throw Jeron Boots Ennis into that category. He was overtrained. He looked sick when he came in. I think it was Chikazian he fought. He came in at 145, something like that. It was one of the fights. I think it was Chikazian. He came in like 145. Crazy. He should never come in 2 pounds underneath 147. But what I'm getting at is, Jeron Boots Ennis, he doesn't have enough time for Crawford or Spence to fight the rematch, right? And then the winner just says, I'm dropping the belts. Jeron Boots Ennis doesn't have time on his side to sit there and fight for a vacant title. Because for the stars to line up, for you to get the opportunity to become undisputed, it takes time when the belts are in the hands of 4 different people. And I want to point that out. So for Boots Ennis, I see he's piping up now. A little something happened the other day, him and Crawford and his dad, and a little bit of talks, and I've been trying to fight you since 2018 and all this crap. Let me tell you something. He is like playing whack-a-mole. He came, stuck his head up, Crawford whacked him with facts. But the bottom line is he's coming up to see what's going on now. Because now we got movement. And he wants to get his opportunity. He wants to put Crawford or Spence in a position. Because remember, he was all after Spence before. Now the whole crap about, they supposedly wanted to fight Crawford, went to BLK Prime. BLK Prime went over there trying to make the Crawford fight, trying to make the Spence fight. Then come to find out, they really weren't trying to do that. It was a bunch of crap. But long story short, okay? With Boots, let me tell you something. He wants to put Crawford or Spence in a position to where they feel obligated for the fans to give him a shot, depending on who ends up becoming undisputed. That's what he's trying to do. But I'm going to be honest with you. That secret society, man, they may have bigger plans. Because when you sit here and take a look at what we have right here, right? This is what we have right here. At 147 pounds. Make this a little bit bigger for y'all. Okay? Fix this shit. When you just come on here and you take a look at what we got. You got, Spence and Crawford are fighting. Right now, Stan Eunice and Ortiz are fighting. Now, this is what you kind of got in a holding pattern. I see Rocha just got his head back in the mix. Rocha should be getting the shot. Crowley's supposed to be, he just earned his position as a mandatory for the WBC, right? He just fought somebody. Ortiz and Stan Eunice are fighting for their position as a mandatory. Yuga's supposed to be fighting Mario Barrios. And then you got Boots Ennis, who's supposed to be the man to take over the welterweight division, but he has nothing really going on right now. Rumors about trying to do his own fight. Then I'm hearing his own card. Now I hear he's gonna be on the undercard or somebody. I don't know what Boots is doing. I'll be honest with you. Only the fly in the goddamn wall knows. But when you come down here and take a look at these rankings, and I'm gonna tell y'all, just pay attention to what's going on here. You can see, let me put this back here. Alexis Rocha is the man at the WBO. He's locked and loaded. He just had his fight. He's going to wait and see what happens with Crawford and Spence, and whether it's going to be a rematch. Roman Villa, right? He's number 2 here in the IBF. There's number 1 position vacant, but Boots Ennis is the interim world welterweight champion for the IBF. Okay, so Boots Ennis gets his shot, but Roman Villa is right there. He could be getting a shot as well. Keith Thurman is still the mandatory. Keith Thurman may mess up everybody's plans if, depending on how Spence and Crawford go, if they have 1 fight, 2 fights, and somebody decides to hang around. Keith Thurman could get his shot. Because remember, Keith Thurman got screwed in this whole thing too. It's not just the Stan Eunice and step aside money, and now he's fighting Ortiz, and then Boots Ennis and being put in position to be a mandatory. And look, everyone's kind of getting screwed around. But I'm telling y'all, as far as the one-stop shop, 4-for-1 deal, that's over. Because realistically, you could see any of these guys getting an opportunity. And when you come over and look at what's going on in the WBA, look, Stan Eunice, Ortiz, the winner of that is going to be in the mandatory position. Now, what I could see happening is, because, boxing politics, things are bubbling up now. You could have a bunch of eliminators where they take a Rashidi Ellis and make him fight Rocha, which isn't fair to Rocha because he's a mandatory, but they could do that, rematch. The Rashidi Ellis in there with him. I think Rashidi Ellis will beat Rocha. Okay? Especially now. You could have Cody Crowley. He could fight Thurman. Right? Then Butiev could fight the winner of a match to Stan Eunice and Ortiz. You know what I mean? Like, this is really what we're looking at. And Boots Ennis could sit there, man, and find himself. He could possibly fight Rashidi Ellis. Or he could fight Roman Villa. So you can see there's the sanctioned bodies are postured to have some pretty entertaining title eliminators, which are going to piss off fighters because they've been guaranteed they're mandatories, so they're guaranteed a shot at the champions, supposedly, right? But that's going to piss people off. But what I see happening is these sanctioning bodies are getting ready to have their guys fight for title eliminators, because I don't think Spence or Crawford are going to keep those belts. I just don't think they're going to keep them. But I'm telling you right now, you better expect some title eliminators. And this whole thing about Devin Haney happening to go out there and stars lining up. Let me tell you, Devin Haney put the work in. Is Kambosos Lomachenko? No. Is Kambosos Shakur Stevenson? No. Is Kambosos Frank Martin? No. You know what I'm saying? When we really sit here and be real about Devin Haney and going out and picking up those titles, is Kambosos Cruz? No. Is he Davis? No. Hell, is he Ryan Garcia? No. Frank Martin, Zepeda, Hughes. So Kambosos is not those guys, but Kambosos could fight. And what Devin Haney had to do, it's not just getting into the ring fighting, all the stress, the distractions, all the pressure, the mental duress. Let me tell you, it's not easy. What that man had to go out there and deal with spiritually, psychologically, socially, mentally, you know what I'm saying? Not fun at all. So Devin Haney deserves credit. But hey, not everybody can end up in a position like him where they go fight, I would say, like a B-level fighter who happens to be the undisputed, right? And you go out there, man, and pick up those belts. It just doesn't work like that. You even look at Usyk. Usyk came up there. He beat AJ. Okay, he did. So he happened to become a unified champion. It just one belt exists. He happened to get a one-stop shop. But it wasn't an easy fight. And now he's got to go fight Tyson Fury to try to become undisputed. That is not going to be easy. But for Tyson Fury, some saying it's going to be easy. Some people think Usyk beats Tyson Fury. I mean, you know, we got to be... I'm annoyed with Tyson Fury too, but let's just hold our horses and not take it to the stupid. Fury should handle Usyk. I'm not going to say be easy, but he should be able to handle him. And then Tyson Fury becomes undisputed. You look what's going on at 175. Not very easy. If they ever give Bivol a fair deal and stop screwing him, let him go and fight Bertabiev. Bertabiev is unified. But look at that fight, Bivol and Bertabiev. That is a hard fight for both of them. Not easy at all. And for anyone to come down here to 160, 168, and try to clip Canelo, that's tough mission. You know what I'm saying? And then down at 160 is just, who knows what's going to happen at 160 pounds. But what I'm getting at is when you look at it, it's not really easy for someone to come and just become undisputed. 154 is a good chance for somebody to clip Jermell. You look at Jermell Charlo, he's undisputed. If somebody comes, that's a 4-for-1 deal. Can Tim Tszyu beat him? I don't know, man. This inactivity with Jermell Charlo, that's not good. Can Castaño beat him? Some people feel Castaño won the first fight. Bottom line, he got his ass tore out the frame the second fight. Fundora, the goddamn giraffe got tranquilized. You know what I'm saying? Fundora doesn't stand a chance with anyone now because he doesn't have a chin. And they're going to come and put that heat on that damn giraffe, Mr. Fantastic Four. Liam Smith, Mendoza, Erickson Lubin, he's a good fighter, but I don't know. Out of everybody there at 154 pounds, when I take a look at it and say, man, who can give Jermell Charlo a run for his money? I think Tim Tszyu could give him a run for his money. I think Mendoza could give him a run for his money. But as far as someone being a real threat to him, man, I think he's a threat to himself. I'll be honest with you. I think he's a threat to himself. Right? So really, as far as a one-stop shop, the easiest division to pick up those belts was at 135, in my opinion. Even at 140, you look what's going on at 140 right now. 140 is crazy. It's not easy for anyone to come and clip Regis Prograis, who my understanding he hits just as hard as Earl Spence. It's not easy for someone to come and clip Subriel Matias, who can crack. It's definitely not easy for someone to come and think they can handle Josh Taylor. Rolly Romero, you know what I'm saying. Hey, he can fight. He's got power, but let's be real now. Rolly Romero, he's looking like some good food to eat for somebody at 140. Ryan Garcia may be getting a little bit of that a Rose Cone Romero. You know what I'm saying, in the next few months. But we'll see how that plays out. But what I'm getting at is, for Jeron Boots Ennis, people understand secret society. Who wants to see Boots Ennis be undisputed at 147? No one knows him. When it comes to resumes, let's put things in perspective here. Who has a better resume at 147? Crawford or Boots? Who has a better resume at 147? Boots or Spence? Who has a better resume at 147? Boots or Thurman? Okay? And for those of you saying, oh, that's not fair, Boots, to compare him to those guys. Why? He's got 30 fights. What are we talking about? His career was just navigated a little bit differently. He's got 30 fights, right? We put things in perspective. Spence doesn't even have 30 fights. Got 28. Crawford, you know, he's been around a little bit longer. Old foghorn, leghorn. He got damn near 40, 39 fights. So when you look at it, I personally would like to see Keith Thurman be undisputed before I like to see Jeron Boots Ennis. Because we know what Thurman used to bring to the table, and we'll see if he could come back and do the business. But Boots Ennis against Keith Thurman, even now, kind of hard for me to go against Keith Thurman. I'm being honest with you. So these 4-for-1 deals, if Boots Ennis wants a 4-for-1 deal, he better go his ass up to 154 and try to bang with Jermell, because Jermell doesn't seem to be going anywhere. But as far as 147, that little setup there at 147, those belts at 147, I'm telling y'all right now, it's not going to be easy for him to get it. Y'all could say, oh, yeah, well, the WBC promised this, or the IBF promised Boots Ennis this. The WBA promised the winner of Stan Eunice. Look, I know what's going on. I get it. But what I'm telling y'all is, look at it a little bit deeper. Look at the stuff that's been going on. Look at all the things we were told that was supposed to happen and how it's changed. You understand? Don't sit there and take what these people are telling y'all as fact, grain of salt. Take it as if the fly on the wall could talk. Now it makes for good conversation, but let's be very practical here with what we're dealing with. It's going to be a change to the change to the change. And I'm telling y'all to anticipate that. And as a result, as far as seeing guys who could get a crack at two guys who are already talking about going up to 154, it's just not going to be a one-stop shop for Boots Ennis. It's not going to be a one-stop shop for Alexis Rocha. It's not going to be a one-stop shop for Rashidi Ellis Crowley. Keith Thurman, maybe. But the Virgil Ortiz, the Butev, and the Estanioses, it's not. I think that those belts are going to get dropped, and there's going to be guys fighting in title eliminators. Because you got to understand, so much money has been missed out on the last year and a half. The fact that these belts haven't really been defended. Do you think these sanctioned bodies want to go through that again? All that dead space? No, they need to fill that up with fights. Understand this, boxing is a business. They don't want to go through that crap again. Another year and a half, 3 years really, of really those belts not being defended. Every 4 months, basically the champion should be fighting 3 to 4 times a year. And those belts should be rotating around, unless the champion is just that good of a fighter. But I'm telling you all the facts. This is how it's supposed to be. This is what the expectation is. But that's not what happens, because they got all these, each sanctioned body has these funky rules about how often the champion has to defend his belts. You know? So, that being said, Jeron Boots Ennis, look, man, I'm going to go ahead and say what happened with him and Chikajian I'm not going to say it was a fluke. Look, good learning experience for him. Focus on the task at hand. Don't worry about what's that shit? Bling, bling, what the young boys call that shit, drip, or whatever. Don't be out there dripping, whatever the hell that shit means, right? Focus on what you got in front of you, champ, because you came out there riding in the Rolls Royce truck or the Bentley truck, some shit. Nice piece of whatever the hell that was around his neck. Thought he was going to hang himself or kill himself with that shit around his neck. all kind of the drip, wearing the drip. Piece of haircut, beard edged up, all that Beijing down. Izzy Miyake cologne. Dumb, man. Come out there like Mike Tyson. Got them black shoes, no socks. Black trunks. Towel with a hole cut in there, draped around you. Over your head. Grinning your teeth like this. Punching holes in the wall before you come out there. Come out there ready, man. Be the lion. Don't come out there trying to be a carnivore. Come out there, man. A herbivore. That's what's wrong with these dudes. But if he can get his stuff together, hey, he's on his way again. I think right now we just want to see, was that a fluke? Did he misstep? But that being said, man, I'm just telling y'all right now, we could timestamp this. We can come back to this in a year from now. Jeron Boots Ennis isn't getting a crack. The 4-for-1 deal that Devin Haney got. He's not going to get it. He's not going to get an opportunity like whoever fights Jermell Charlo next for a 4-for-1 deal. It's just not going to happen. Those guys, Spence and Crawford, I think once they fight once or twice or 3 times, they're going to drop them belts and bubble up and try to do something at 154. Or somebody may retire. I'm just being honest with you. Especially if them guys getting 8-figure guarantees for 2, maybe 3 fights. You figure if they, I already told you, I don't think you're going to be too far from $25 million. Because Crawford ain't going for that. But boy, if they fight the first fight, each of them get like 20 million apiece. Fight the rematch, and the first fight was really good, and the rematch, now they both get like 35, 30 apiece. Then that shit's good. Now you go for a third fight. 3 fights and done. But it's hard to get in that ring because of that weight cut for Earl Spence. But boy, they do 3 fights, making 20 to 30 to 40 million, especially if they plan that second or third fight over there in Saudi, man, and Crawford pull his strings. He pulled those Kinahan strings. Then it's on. That being said, man, y'all keep cool. Boots Ennis, I kind of feel bad for him. But at the end of the day, just get back to work, make statements, and something will open up for him. But boy, if they put him in there with Roman Villa, I'm telling y'all right now, that ain't no easy fight for him. I'm letting y'all know that right now. Y'all may see Boots Ennis take his first loss because he's coming off of some inactivity. I know he's a gym rat, but I'm just telling you. That Roman Villa, man, he ain't trying to go out like that. That's all I'm saying. Pay attention. But that being said, man, shout out to the veterans. Make sure y'all subscribe. All 7 continents. And as always, you know what I'm in.